So this is the fourth audio. I was reading something. I just read everything. It's true. What I'm saying it is true. The thing is that I don't want to skip any detail. So I was saying they use names of relatives of your relatives as their own names. In my case, there was a lady who called herself by the name of a cousin who died many years ago in the United States. And there was a guy who called himself by the name of my uncle, my cousin's father. Another woman used the name of someone who was a friend of a relative in the U.S. and a woman who claimed to be from Jutiapa. Jutiapa is a department here in Guatemala. Just a second. People are approaching. Okay, so a woman who claimed to be from Jutiapa. Jutiapa is a place here in Guatemala. A department for us is departments. For Mexico and the U.S., those are states. So, she claimed to be from Jutiapa in Jutiapa, like Jutiapa, and claimed to live in neighborhood El Amparo, Amparo 2, like shelter in English. Just a second. Like shelter in English, Amparo. Amparo 2, like 1, 2. Why I'm saying all of this? Because ever since I got back to Guatemala, they were trying to act as they already found out who's talking all this thing about Guatemala. I'm not talking about Guatemala. I'm talking about what happened in Guatemala. That's something different. You see? So, because they have been messing with me in places I've been working at, like showing up people who look physically like my neighbors, like someone I met from any neighborhood around the neighborhood I live here in Guatemala. It's why I'm telling the truth. I had no choice left other than telling everything that happened. I know I lied to the border patrol about what happened because I didn't want to say anything before finding out what was actually happening. Turns out people had already plans to leave Guatemala, and I have to say that there are people walking past in front of my house saying, "But where are those people who wanted to leave Guatemala?" That's what they told me when they threatened me of death in Tijuana. When they made threats of death to me in Tijuana, they told me there are people who are interested in leaving your country and they got you into this game in order for them to be able to leave Guatemala. Even people from my neighborhood, there were like one or two who left Guatemala after they made me leave Guatemala, and they know it. So they have been creating all these situations so that I don't say where I come from and what actually happened. You see? So I found out what was happening. There were Mexican people involved in that situation in the neighborhood I'm from, the neighborhoods around, because they wanted to get U.S. papers, and other people wanted to go to the U.S. That's the truth. I didn't know it till I got to Tijuana. That's the truth. And I haven't talked about it. There is no way I can talk to any border patrol agent, so I have to make it public. Because besides of that, everywhere I go, let's say if I want to take a walk, I found Mexicans trying to mess with me. I don't know them. I didn't do anything wrong in Mexico, and I didn't do anything wrong in the United States either. I'm tired of this situation. I'm not interested in getting any US papers. Why? What for? Huh? So they thought he speaks English, he likes languages. Yeah, maybe we could get him in this game, and if he wins this game and wins his US papers, we could get more people so that they could get US papers. I don't know how to explain it in English, but I'm not an object that you can move from one place to another, and not even for just a second. And not even for those things which it's only you who are interested in that. That's the truth. They have been trying to blame it on my sister, my relative who received me in the US. But something I never told her is that they were messing with me even before I intended have communication with her. Hmm? Yeah, listen everything you were saying. I don't know what witchcraft they did here in Guatemala. No sé qué brujería hicieron ahorita que estaba explicando que trataban de culpar a mi hermana, a mi familiar que me recibió en Estados Unidos. Algo que yo no le dije nunca a ella fue de que ya habían empezado a estarme fastidiando antes de que me hicieran que me fuera de Guatemala. Y empezó a acelerar el de la moto. Entonces, ¿saben qué es lo que estoy diciendo? No sé qué brujería, y digo brujería porque así me lo dijeron en Tijuana. Tienen hecho como para que entiendan qué es lo que uno está diciendo en otro idioma. So, switching back to English, they were they were messing with me. So here comes something I didn't want to skip. There's a lady in the same block I live in security too, who out of nowhere started working at call centers. In call centers, there was somebody else from Bethania, like Bethany in English. She was working for another call center. They didn't work at any call center in English before I started working for a call center. I remember when her brother was offering me to do drugs with him. I didn't know why. It was like we live in the same block. You never try to have a conversation with me, and now you want me to do drugs with you. Why? So I just went with the flow, and her sister showed up. It was around like 12, 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. It was late. It was late. We were something close, let's say like 2 blocks, 2 blocks down. And he told me, "You should be careful with her. She wants to leave nothing for you." And I was like, "What?" Yeah, I don't know what you were talking about, but thank you for the piece of advice. Anyways, so it turns out she was single mom. And when I came back to Guatemala, she found someone. And she was like showing me that I was alone, I didn't have a job, and she had someone in spite of having someone else's child. I repeat the same thing. I have already said I don't care about anyone else's life. What they do, if she has one child from different father, I don't care. It's not my life. But they have been messing in my life. That's why I'm pointing this out. So I found out that they're trying, and I have to talk about it. They are like developing a plan to don't sell anything in the convenience stores convenience stores in the neighborhood for telling the truth. I'm not making anything up. So, want to point it out? I don't know if they have been giving bad comments about me. There have been people in the places I have already worked, like letting me know that people, because in the places I've been working for, there have been people who look physically like my neighbors here in Guatemala. And they let me know with the signs. I shouldn't be saying this because sometimes turns out what they tell me it's truth. It's true. Yeah, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Uh, they have they have let me know. They let me know that these people have been talking. And I remember I heard a couple of months ago someone saying that they went to the company I was working for to ask them to don't let me keep on working with them because I was giving bad comments about Guatemala, negative comments about Guatemala. So I still can't believe all of this. And I'm pointing this out because it's not fair. I haven't talked about this, and I thought to talk about this because it's like who's gonna be next to go to the United States? We have to find out everything about him. Let me know. Let me think. Well, we have already chose Jendo. So we're gonna make him go. So you're not gonna sell him. You're gonna treat him like he's trying to steal something, even if he doesn't steal anything. You're gonna make him feel afraid of going out to the street. That's why they are whistling. Uh, so you're gonna make him do witchcraft on him so that he has problems to sleep. You're gonna make noises early in the morning so he doesn't go to work, and we're gonna force him to leave Guatemala because we want US papers, and I already have children, and I want them to go to the US. That's the way they do it. Even in 18th Street, 6th Avenue, where you see the green shuttle in San Juan, here in Guatemala City. I remember I was going in the green shuttle, the transmitter, and out of nowhere I started to have like this feeling like they knew I did something wrong. It was the first time I went to a place really far from Zone 1, and I started to have this feeling like they knew that I did something wrong. And they were gonna hurt me. But out of nowhere, I just reacted and I thought, but I didn't do anything wrong. I'm coming back because I had to check if they were gonna pay me, and I got already paid. But I didn't do anything wrong. Why am I feeling this? That's the witchcraft they do, so that you feel scared, and they scare you away, and you went away, running away from something that only you know. They do that in order for you not to have any proof that they're scaring you away. You see? So I have already talked about this thing in my neighborhood. I didn't want to skip it because the family of this lady, I'm not. I'm not gossiping. I'm telling the truth. I have just thought things how they are. The family of them, they already have two houses, and they have a business. They're running a business, and she was working for a call center. So they want everything. They want everything, and that's why they're trying to get you into trouble and all of that stuff. So I don't know what plans they have, but this is the truth. It's people I don't know. I don't know her name. She's my neighbor, and I don't know her name. So they're making plans and all that stuff without me even noticing it. And the worst part is that they fractured my jaw. It doesn't matter what happened in the boulevard. There's a coyote. Well, there was a coyote. I don't know if his sons continued this this job about taking people to the Mexico-U.S. border, and that's something else I need to talk. They know what I'm talking, and they're letting me know what I should talk about, because even people from the red buses, there are no longer red buses, but when I lost my physical police and criminal records in a red bus, they found it, and they told me we're gonna help you to get to get papers. They didn't tell me what kind of papers, and then we're gonna leave. I guess they were talking about U.S. papers, and they were talking about leaving to the U.S. And that's why I needed to talk about this, because they already have two houses, they have a business running, and they even want more. You see? And I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking. Not. I'm not giving negative comments about people. It's the truth. You see? Actually, yesterday I had to run an errand, and I was waiting in line. Turns out the guy who arrived after I arrived to that place when I went to run that errand, he's from the settlement, the neighborhood my best lady friend is from. That's how they let you know who you are, and they let you know that they know who you are, that they are keeping an eye on you. How? I don't know. How they knew I was going to that place, I don't know, but he was there. So all this situation happened using as an excuse the caravans of immigrants. They saw the opportunity to make me leave Guatemala and talk about what really happens at the Mexico-U.S. border, but trying to make me stay in the U.S. That's what they have been talking about. Sometimes when they walk past in front of my house, that they didn't let me stay in the U.S. because more people would try to go to the U.S. the same way they made me leave. The thing is that they want to go to the U.S. They are making all these plans, and that's why there are people who don't want them to go to the U.S. Because if they were capable, they were capable to do this. I don't want to imagine what they would do going to the U.S. Hmm? Because sometimes when I go out to the streets, let's say like running an errand or something like that, they know what they were doing. Out of nowhere, I feel like the urge of grabbing whatever they have in their hands. Sometimes it happens in public transportation, even if I'm trying to uh, just a second. Even if I'm traveling stand and I have to grab these these chips in the buses. I don't know how they call it, but I'm trying to grab to those chips in in the buses, and I feel the urge so they know what they're doing. You see, so that's why they wanted me to talk. Something else I heard is that when Mexicans try to help, Mexicans help someone to get US papers, they don't let them have those papers that long. They try to get rid one by one of their family members. That's what they told me. What I heard, they said that in order for me to hear it a couple of years ago. So they were making all these plans, and that's why I'm talking because they want to go to the U.S. They are using even witchcraft or Santeria, black magic, because what they were doing it's not something good. Uh, they used it on me to get sick. There were only Mexicans around, but they're like doing this in couple, like Guatemalans, Mexicans. Guatemalans because they want to go to the US or get US papers, and Mexicans because you were talking about what really happens at the Mexico US border. And the worst thing is that even if you are not interested into it, it's happening. And well, I have already talked about security 2. Security 1 is AKERTI 1, like 1, like 1, 2. Yeah. Well, I have family members in that neighborhood. Turns out, just a second, they're doing that on purpose. If it's not a helicopter, it's a plane who flies over here and even around my neighborhood every time I do this. So just a second. Well, have only 2 minutes. I met the guy in security 2, which is where I live. He offered me to do drugs. Yeah, while that happened, he told me he was Mexican. I never asked him anything. I thought he was Guatemalan. But he told me, you know what, I'm Mexican. I was like, what? Ah, okay, not a problem. Well, turns out he's Mexican. And I have to talk about this in the next audio, in the fifth audio.